Hi everyone. I just want to make sure you can see my screen.
Yes, on my side.
Awesome. So let's give a start. I will give a quick intro about myself. I'm Said. I'm a community project manager at Meta. I support Meta's open mapping community team. So I look after data acquisition, program management for community related, as well as data acquisition related project at Meta. You may be wondering that why are we involving OpenStreetMap as part of Meta? To keep it super simple, so basically Meta has its own base map, and then we are relying on OpenStreetMap heavily, and then we are also building tools for OpenStreetMap to improve data on OpenStreetMap as well as Meta base map. Today, we will be talking about Mapillary. Mapillary is another tool which owned by Meta. It's a street-level imagery platform, automates and scale generating map data. So today, I'll be giving you a quick introduction to Mapillary, how to capture with Mapillary, how to upload Mapillary imagery, and then how to use Mapillary imagery to improve OpenStreetMap data. And then in the end of presentation, we will jump to Rapid Editor, and then we will enable Mapillary map feature layer, and then we will contribute data to OpenStreetMap. That sounds okay for everyone?
Yes, it's okay.
Sounds amazing. Before starting, I just want to check how many of you have heard about Mapillary before? Any volunteer? We can just have a quick emoji check-in. So if you heard about Mapillary, can you please thumb up with your Zoom emoji? All right, I can see 4, 5. All right, 6. Thanks, guys. So based on this input, I will be kind of adapting my pace, and then if you have any question, if it is not clear for you, and then please just interrupt me, and then you can ask your question. Feel free to jump in. You can also write questions on the chat. Cool. So this is the agenda for today. Quick introduction, how to capture, how to upload, how to use Mapillary imagery, and then how to enrich OpenStreetMap data with Mapillary. So as I mentioned, Mapillary is a street-level imagery platform that scales, automates mapping. As you may know, mapping is time-consuming, and then with Mapillary, you can basically capture street-level imagery, and then Mapillary will process all these images by using computer vision and machine learning technologies and extract map data. You may see legacy solution on the left-hand side. In the mapping sector, mostly total station, GPS surveying, and then mobile mapping equipment are mostly used, but those are super expensive solution, as well as it's tedious, and then it requires a lot of effort to go and map. With Mapillary, and then you can basically use any camera, any device, and then capture street level imagery, and then after, when you upload those images, map data will be available for you. You may be wondering the quality of data, and we will address this later on. At the moment, we have 1.7 billion images in Mapillary across the world. You can check your neighborhood if there is any imagery, or if you can check your country, what is the coverage. If you're wondering what's the coverage overall in my country, you can go to mapillary.com/web, app, so where you can see global coverage, which is exactly looking like this. So how does it work? As I mentioned, that Mapillary is a open and cross-source platform we have contributor network, contains communities as well as partners, governmental organizations. They're bringing their street level imagery to our platform. And then, first of all of those images are licensed by Creative Commons by share alike, which allows our contributors and then also users to use those images by attributing it. And then images are available to everyone for free. And this kind of help a lot of organizations to avoid like hosting costs for the imagery. On the top of that, we are detecting objects from each of those images, and then we are processing those images as well as with 3D reconstruction, where we build point cloud data from those images. Once images are processed and then 3D reconstruction is built, and we are identifying object position in this 3D reconstruction. And then generated map data can be extracted with our web app, our API, as well as you can access this map data with Rapid, GeoSM, other OSM editing tools. So I mentioned in the beginning, like Mapillary is a scalable solution where you can capture with any camera anywhere. The only requirement is the image needs to have EXIF data, which contains capture time, latitude, longitude of the image. So those are the three essential metadata we need to have to basically locate object in the real world. For smartphone, we have Mapillary app. We will talk about it more. And then for action cameras, you can use any kind of action camera which has a GPS. If the action camera doesn't have a GPS, it's also not a big deal. External GPS receiver can be used to geotag data. And then also dash cams and ProRigs can be used to contribute Mapillary. So this is the overview uploading to Mapillary. So basically, once you capture all the images, you can use different tools and upload Mapillary. I just want to share this video with you to give a better opinion about how does it work once you capture one images. So in this video, you will see that while you are capturing images, if they're like consecutive images in your trajectory, so basically we can reconstruct 3D model from those images because they have overlap. So this relies on photogrammetry technology. If there are like certain overlap between each images, you can reconstruct the place, and then you can basically do any kind of measurement on this point cloud. And there is a denser example of this 3D reconstruction. And in this reconstruction, we also included drone imagery. And then this model has been reconstructed in grass with high dense street level imagery. So if you are familiar with like other mapping approaches like a LiDAR, so you may think of like similar to a LiDAR point cloud, but this point cloud is generated from street level imagery. As you can see, it looks pretty neat and then accurate. You can identify object. So basically this is a journey turning street level imagery data into map data. So here we have generated map data, and all of those map data also available for anyone. Cool, how do we do that? So we are using computer vision technology. So we have already like trained data set for each kind of segments. So first step is semantic segmentation. Simply, which means that we know what is each pixel about. Is it car? Is it pixel for road? Is it pixel for sky? Is it sidewalk, whatever? So we are building a relation between each of these pixels to basically identify the object. Here you can see on the left-hand side, So you can see like road segment, car segment, shop sign. You can see like street light and several other like segmentation. And we do detect 42 street assets globally, including like fire hydrants, street lights, traffic lights, and pedestrian crossing, etc. And then we do detect 1,500 traffic sign classes across the world. So if you need a full list, if you go like mapillary.com/API documentation, you can see full list of all the street assets as well as traffic signs. So here I share a Viv 3D reconstruction example generated by denser data. And we do also blur faces and the license plates to comply with privacy regulation in different countries, including US and Europe. And then we have also object recognition optimized for street level imagery. So which means that like once you capture data and when you extract data, and then we are basically identifying the same object in different sequences. And then we also release this annotated image data set for training purposes. If you go to like mapillary.com/vistas or data sets, you will able to see this data set. Yeah, I just mentioned like 42 street assets can be extracted from Mapillary. So those are some of the example which might be extremely useful for improving OSM data, such as like street light, utility poles, trash can, shop signs, banner, fire hydrants, etc. Or crosswalks are my favorite. Cool. So we got quick introduction to Mapillary, and then I just want to share what is this all about, what's going on once you capture one single image in the area, and then how we turn these images into map data. Do we have any questions so far? If you have any question, please feel free to unmute and share a question. Meantime, I can check the chat.
No questions in the chat yet.
Awesome. I just checked the chat and then I can see like 3 people have been already used and then 6 of them already share emojis. So I feel like I'm talking to audience. Everyone pretty much knows what it's all about. So I will try to move a bit faster so we can dedicate some more time to map some of the objects generated by Mapillary. Let's move on. So here you can see like some of the different method of like capturing with Mapillary. You can capture on foot, you can capture by cycling, you can attach your smartphone to your car, and you can also attach your action camera or 360 camera to your, like either self stick or any kind of stick where you can have a kind of certain distance to have a better view of the place. So basically, like imagery comes in and then map data goes out, and then it's all open to improve any kind of maps. So first thing first, to get started with Mapillary, you just need to go mapillary.com mobile apps or your app store, whichever your operating system is. You just search Mapillary, and then you can install your Mapillary app to your phone, and then you don't need to sign up to basically get started. You can just explore and capture images. You only need to log in if you need to upload your images. And then you need to enable your location services because, as I mentioned, as a requirement, we need the position of these images. And yeah, these are more detailed how to capture. So you can put your smartphone inside your car to avoid while you're avoiding like obstructing your vision, and then check with the local laws if this is allowed in your country. by walking, and then also bicycle. So bicycle one is a bit tricky, and then you need to make sure that to find the right bicycle mount, and then secure your phone well, because while you're cycling, the phone might be vibrating and then maybe fall. So make sure you secure your phone well. So you install the app and then you log in and then you just open the camera. So it's pretty straightforward. And then you just go capture. It's in the middle button. Once you hit the red button, you start capturing, and then here you see the toggle. You can enable automated capture while you enable this toggle, and then it will constantly keep capturing. There are different settings, such as like time or distance-based capture. And if you go to settings, I will show you like next slide. If you go to next time method, basically like it will capture images every second. If you go with like distance based capture, if you enable this toggle, it will go basically like distance based and capture image every 5 meters. And you can also enable like power saving mode, or prevent overheating, or limit battery usage. So those are interfaces for Android devices, but the settings and most of the interfaces are pretty similar for also iOS. So if you're using iOS, it should be also pretty much you have also like those settings. So cool. You can also set the direction. As a default, we are using device compass to basically to understand camera direction. This is quite interesting setting. I really like it, especially like if you are mapping basically like POI data, and then if you are capturing with car, your target, your vision is focusing the road, but you are interested in to see the shops and like all the stores, because you will be mapping POIs for this purpose. And then if you are interested in like mapping sidewalks and POIs, you can basically choose the camera pointing direction into right or left, where you will see the images are pointing on the right direction when you go to Mapillary web app, as well as like any OSM editor. So we are relying on GPS to identify position of the images. So be aware of tunnels. We don't have GPS signals in tunnel, right? And then there may be like lack of signal, and then Mapillary app cannot capture. So once you see this warning, GPS accuracy too low, and then this means that the app will not able to capture images. There are certain ways to map the areas where there is no GPS signal. If you are encountering such problem, I'm happy to discuss. So you can basically generate like synthetic GPS traces, and then basically overwrite the images EXIF data and upload it. It's a bit of manual work, but yeah, let me know if you're encountering such problem. Cool. So we capture images, and then so capture button is the one with the video icon. If you go to capture, you will see this this interface. And then once you capture, like all the sequences will be populated under upload, which is pretty straightforward. You basically hit upload, then images will be sent to Mapillary's database for ingestion. And then ingestion means that data will be accepted by Mapillary platform, and then start processing, which are like image processing, map data generation, 3D reconstruction, and then also generating map data. And finally, like you will see your Mapillary traces on the map. Here, if you go to your profile, you can see your user stats. So Chris is my colleague, and then he has contributed like 3.5 million images, more than like 19,000 miles. One of the strong Mapillary profile. And you can also see your, capture images, your sequences, as well as if you go to explore button, and then you can see all the traces where you are basically located at that time, so you can navigate. So this is interface from explore button. You can see coverage around, check which places are missing any imagery, etc. So if you click any of those dots here, and you will see such an interface where you have street level imagery as well as map. If you go like full screen by clicking this icon, and then you will see like full immersive like street level imagery, and then you can also hit the play button, and then it will walk you through to traces. Cool. So we have also a Mapillary leaderboard where you can basically search your city or country and then see top contributors for certain time this week, this month, or overall. So it's available on our mobile apps as well as on Mapillary web app. And we have pretty much like strong contributor. I do remember like we have one contributor from US. He has been contributed like more than 40 million images. So I was talking about Chris. He contributed like 3.5 million, and like JB the Milliker contributed like around 40 million images, which is amazing. Fantastic. I see some questions on the chat. Yeah, that's a good question. We don't have OSM login, so how can I log in Mapillary using OSM ID? We don't have OSM login at the moment. We had this login option before, but we disabled it due to like OSM's authentication infrastructure. But I think this is a really good question, so I can bring this up to the team that if we can find any way to bring OSM login again. Is this what you're asking, Divya?
Yes, I asked that.
What was that question?
Using OSM ID, can I use Mapillary? That's
Understood. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood the question. Yes. On OSM ID, you can use Mapillary. So I will walk you through like how to use Mapillary imagery, and then we will add some data to OSM by using Mapillary imagery. So next question is, if I place my phone in the car, motorcycle, bicycle, at what speed do I need to drive so I can capture good images? Yeah, this is a really good question. So basically, like if you enable like distance-based capture, you don't really need to stick with any kind of speed. But if you go with like time-based capture, you may be thinking of like driving a bit slow. For instance, like if you set like capture images every 2 seconds, and if you drive like 100 kilometer per hour, so you will have really less images for like certain distance. So therefore, like I would recommend you to enable a distance-based capture while you are driving with this vehicle or like either bicycle. You can also avoid capturing while you're stopping, which is redundant basically. Like imagine if you stop by traffic sign, if you enable like time-based capture, the app will still be capturing, and then by enabling like distance-based capture, you can also avoid like having those stationary images. Yeah, there is another good question from Odulana. What kind of images can be uploaded or should be in focus? There is no basically limit of type of the images. You can decide what kind of problem are you solving with those images. As I mentioned, if you are mapping like a point of interest, probably like side pointing images will be more helpful for you to basically see images, to see like all this shop signs, etc. But if you are mapping street lights or crosswalks, you need images from like compass, like forward positioning direction. I will continue a little bit more. We talk about leaderboard. You can also go to mapillary.com /app, and then you will see leaderboard on the left-hand side, and you can check who is leading in your country. I also want to talk a little bit about Mapillary mission feature, which is only beta at the moment for iOS. So basically, Mapillary mission is a feature which allows you to see which areas need imagery to be refreshed. So as I mentioned, like we have 1.7 billion images in the platform, but they are not 100% fresh. So imagine you capture images like 3 years ago, and then those images may be still relevant, but by the nature of places, places are changing. Like their shops are opening, and then they're like constructing like new traffic signs. And with this feature, we want to solve where to find outdated images which might be commercially interesting for OpenStreetMap. So basically, like most of the old towns are kind of interesting because or if we improve like OSM data on OpenStreetMap database, so we will see those images, those data available on all the maps which are relying on OpenStreetMap, including like meta maps, OSMN, or organic maps, etc. So whichever app relies on OSM, if we update map data in those areas where there is a commercial interest or retail businesses, so this data will be eventually updated on OSM. And we basically generate these S2 cells where they're like data is outdated, and then also where the like those roads are pedestrian friendly, and then you basically select one of the grids, which is similar to like HUD's tasking manager. You select one grid, and then you start capturing, and you are limited to capture inside this grid. And then once you complete the old grid, and then you just upload your images, and then you can see which is exactly like that. So you basically start capturing, you finish road segment, and then you will see like target imagery, and then existing capture images. And then once you cover all the roads within the grid, you are good to go. Yeah, we already mentioned like how to mount for your phone onto your car or bike. So there was example to mount it to interior inside your car with such mount. I don't know if you were in State of the Map, we brought like bunch of those kind of mounts to State of the Map, share with community, but those are super, like accessible for everyone and really affordable. So you can get one. There's also like magnetic mount for external cameras. So this is a more detailed slide about how to capture with GoPro. So GoPro has photo capture mode, which also like supports time-lapse capture. And since GoPro has embedded GPS, and then you just need to make sure that GPS is enabled. And then you can use GoPro for walk, drive, bike purposes. So which is really solid camera can go into any kind of condition, which has really high resolution. And then if the resolution is better, we better generate like map data. Then we have example for 360 cameras and for also like for ProRes. And this can be attached to selfie stick. And then there are also like interval photo mode for 360 cameras. And recently we introduced cam format support for Mapillary desktop uploader. You can basically capture imagery or video with your 360 camera, extract them as a cam format, and then drag and drop this file to desktop uploader, and then desktop uploader will do the rest. Yeah, we just address some of the capturing methods with Mapillary. So I just talk about like capturing with smartphone, and then share some details about like user interface, and then we talk about also capturing with GoPro and then 360 imagery, and also we just talk about like Mapillary mission feature, which allows you to find where needs a fresh imagery, and then you can basically go and capture. How are we doing? Any questions so far here? All right, let's continue. So how to upload with Mapillary uploading tools? So we have several uploading tools where I will be talking about shortly. So we have Mapillary tools, which is a command line interface where you can basically write command, and then you can basically upload your images with multi-thread.
Sorry, let me just cut in with a question.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
in terms of the update, is it that you are updating the whole, let's say if it was a kilometer of a street, is it the whole thing that gets updated, or let's say some portions of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, like it depends. The like data comes from. So if you basically upload, let's say 500 meters, only 500 meters of this road segment will be updated. Does it make sense?
Okay, and then the old images have to go away.
No. All the images will be still there, but we have a filter on the Mapillary web app. So once I will be finishing this presentation, I will quickly go to our web app, and I will walk you through like how to get around, navigate on the Mapillary web app. And that time I will show you like how to filter images as well.
Okay.
So we have Mapillary tools, which is a command line interface. It supports like multi-thread, and then it has more advanced function, which you can play around, like override EXIF data, interpolate direction, etc. But my favorite is Mapillary Uploader. Basically, it's super simple. You drag and drop images, and then Mapillary Uploader figure out all the other settings. So this is Mapillary desktop uploader interface. As I mentioned, like you just drop folder into the area, and then Mapillary will the uploader will basically extract images position, locate them onto map, and then you just verify that if they're positioned well, and then you can just hit upload. That's it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You just send it, and then it kind of locate them. You can interpolate the direction, and then yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If you just download like Mapillary desktop uploader, and you can just check it out. And this is the interface of Mapillary tools. We have this is basically like open source, and then We have a GitHub repo if you're wondering, like if you're curious about to learn more, and then there is a nice documentation how to install Mapillary tools, how to run Mapillary tools, as well as if you're having any issue, you can also create an issue. Our engineers are addressing issues quickly for Mapillary tools as well. Cool. This is pretty much it. And then we already talk about how to upload images. We have with smartphone. It's pretty straightforward. There is a upload button. You just hit upload, and then images will be uploaded. Cool. All right. We upload images. Images are processed. 3D reconstruction generated. Objects are out there. Okay. How do I use Mapillary imagery and Mapillary map data? And yeah, here there are like some options. So mapillary.com /app is a Mapillary web app where you can access imagery and Mapillary generated map data. And then you maybe heard about like Rapid editor. So if you go to Rapid, you can also enable like Mapillary imagery, Mapillary generated map data. And then images are also available on Mapillary JOSM plugin, and then Picture for Review, Vespucci, OSM and Track View. And we have also ArcGIS integration where you can access Mapillary imagery. I will move to next slide. So you can edit map with Rapid and then also JOSM. So this is the interface of Rapid editor. Actually, like this is ID. So if you can see like street level imagery and then generated map data from street level imagery, which allows you to basically quickly go to this generated map data and then contribute to OSM. We have also developer tools where you can access Mapillary imagery. If you go to mapillary.com/developer, you can see like other developer tools. And we have a Mapillary API. If you build your own tool, you can basically access Mapillary tiles, Mapillary map data, as well as imagery. To access imagery, we have a JavaScript library where you can basically build your own Mapillary imagery browser. If you are interested in like testing our apps before we release them, you can basically go is.gd/mapillary.beta. You can basically become a tester for our Android app. So I will share this presentation with Rebecca, so you will have access to all links. Yeah, before finishing, so we have Facebook group, Mapillary FB. It's also mostly known as like Mapillary Worldwide, and we have a forum, and then we have Telegram group. If you're not part of it, feel free to join. I can share links also on the chat. If you are encountering any kind of problem, you can share your issues, your comments, your feedback over those channels. We are pretty responsive to any kind of request or issues, as well as if you want to do any kind of if you have any ideas to capture or use Mapillary imagery, we are also happy to chat more. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and listening. I hope that presentation will help you to basically perform your data quality internship during this season. And I believe like images will be definitely useful also to basically check OSM data quality, since we are also like doing a lot of remote mapping. If you are not there physically, if there is imagery in the area, you can also absolutely use those images as a source of truth. And you can follow us on Twitter at Mapillary and then Map with AI. And yeah, you can also see my handle here. And then feel free to reach me out if you have any question. I have also my email here. So that's it. And we will check. I will check the questions. Yeah, Supat has a good question. If more than one person upload the images of same track, in that case, whose images will shown in the Mapillary? So both will be shown in the Mapillary, and then you can basically also filter images by username, so which is also quite nice tool. Once we address all of those questions, and then we will jump to Mapillary web app. I will quickly walk you through how to navigate Mapillary web app. Sekit Toleko asked, do you have Mapillary plugin JOSM? Yes, we have a plugin for JOSM where you can see Mapillary imagery as well as Mapillary generated map data. Jen asked, is there a QGIS plugin? Yeah, that's also like really good question. We used to have QGIS plugin, but it wasn't developed by by our engineers. It was developed by one of our community user, and then unfortunately, like at the moment, QGIS plugin doesn't work due to like some login issue. There is a also like GitHub repo. Feel free to create an issue or check in with our like developer from our community. So it was one of my favorite plugin on QGIS as well. All right, I will quickly go to mapillary.com. All right, so this is Mapillary web app. I will start from here, mapillary.com. So this is Mapillary web page. If you go like mapillary.com, and then this is what you're gonna see. And then if you go like export map data, you will go to Mapillary web app. And then here we have search icon. You can basically go anywhere in the world. I will go to Ordu city where I know like there are a lot of Mapillary imagery. You can also check your cities. So this is a random city in Turkey where we have good Mapillary coverage. And here we have filters. And then where you can filter by username, you can filter by date, and you can filter if images are 360. For instance, like I just want to see all the images which are 360 captured by 360 camera. So this is pretty much like all 360. But if you go to, let's say, other places, let's go to Istanbul. So this is all imagery coverage in Istanbul. If you go like 360 enable or disable, you can see right now you can only see 360 imagery coverage in Istanbul. And then you may be wondering, I think someone just asked, how do we know like the fresh images? So you can basically select, for instance, I want to check if there are any data from beginning of 2021. I don't want to see any data older than, let's say, year. So as you can see, some of the images were disappear And then if I just remove this date filter, those images will be appearing again. I also want to filter images captured by myself. So if I go here, I don't have any 360 images, but I have images which I capture in Istanbul. So we have also like this color codes, which shows that if the images are 2 years old, you can see it, they're green, and then if they're less than 2 years old, they are between 2 to 4, it's orange, and older than 4 years, they are red. So those are filters. And then let's go back to, let's say, Ordu again. And I want to generate all the map data in Ordu. So we have map data icon here. And then you can select any kind of points. Let's start with all the fire hydrants in the city. So in order to see map data for the sake of efficiency, and then so right now I can generate all the fire hydrant data from the images. I also want to see all the streetlights order, and those streetlights are generated from images. Here we go. If you go to images, and then we can see that there is a street light. And in a second, I will be coming back here and then to show you how to map the street level imagery. And then you can also enable all traffic signs. You can also enable all points. So you can see like thousands of map data generated from those street level imagery. I'll just show you like how to download this data. I just want to download all the crosswalks in order. So for instance, like this is my view. I just want to download all the crosswalks. I just go map data, I just download it, and then let me open GeoJSON, new one. So basically, this generated data, I don't know why I have this one, but so I extracted as a GeoJSON. So right now I have those crosswalks basically in GeoJSON format where you can use anywhere. Yeah, I can reset. Okay, we talk about like search, we talk about filters, we talk about like how to basically filter different map objects, traffic signs. And here you have your profile. You can see your own coverage. So this is Ordu's coverage. This is my coverage in Ordu. This is all Mapillary coverage. And there was also a question like, how do I see other people coverage? So basically, with this green one, you see all the users' contribution. But if you want to see only your contribution, you just enable this toggle. And you have here total number of uploaded images, total distance map, and then also you can see like how long you are in the platform. Yeah, you can basically like those are like called sequences. So this is one sequence. I do map. It's a park. And then here you have your dashboard. You have your ID and then some other details, email address, bio, profile picture, which you can basically modify. And you have also developer interface where you can create a client token to basically use Mapillary API. If you go to mapillary.com API, all right. API dash. So this is the API documentation. This might be interesting. Awesome. So let's go back to Mapillary web app. I'll quickly show also leaderboard here. So we have leaderboard as I mentioned. So I'm wondering like who is top contributor in Uganda? So nobody contributed this week. Only Fabio Test contributed this month. And overall, Saya one account is the top contributor in Uganda. So I want to see like this contributor's imagery. Okay, somewhere in Kampala. For instance, like I'm wondering like if we have only 360 imagery in Kampala. Yes, we have, but very limited. And then this area has just flat images. So this user mapped mostly that area. So you can see that this is the user's coverage. And then we have also like this global leaderboard. You can see like top contributors on the platform. So we have 5 more minutes. I will go back to Ordo again. By the way, full disclosure, I'm not from Ordo, just I know that there is a imagery, so I'll just enable. So let's map some fire hydrants. So let's go this one. So you can share images here, and then if you go like image option, you can see like images are licensed by Creative Commons. And we have also like edit OpenStreetMap with this image. If I go rapid here, so this image will be retrieved with its position. Okay, I need to do it one more time. For some reason, here we go. So this is rapid interface. To avoid like this distraction, I will disable like all the rapid generated data. And I will go here and enable Mapillary map features. Here I will find so basically I will find this fire hydrant here. Let me click this. So fire hydrant should be somewhere here. Okay, so this is not the fire hydrant. So this is a false positive. That's why we will not map that one. But let's map this traffic light here then. sorry, street light then. So here I have like street light. As I mentioned, like the camera pointing direction is important. So I'm driving towards this side, and then there is a street light on my left. And how do I map the street light? I just add like point here, and then go street light. Then adding street light. All right. Now that's it. Let's move on to map something else. I actually want to map crosswalk. I'm just checking this one. Okay, here I have crosswalk. As you can see, like our satellite imagery layer is not great in this part of Turkey, like rest of the Turkey. But which is all right. I can see like image position here. I will go a little bit back, a little bit forward. Yeah, literally I'm on the crosswalk. So I will add crossing here. So it's mark crosswalk. All right, so we add this crosswalk as well. Yeah, before closing, let's have a quick look to questions before we wrap up. So I just want to clarify everything before we finish. Mark is asking, as to usage of Mapillary, maybe we can have some statistic like where the most contributions are coming from, if ever there are. So you may check this one with leaderboard, or you can visually check the coverage on the map. So if you go to like mapillary.com/app, you can see Mapillary coverage, and you can see if there are any images. But if you mean like usage of Mapillary, do you mean like contributions or the image usage? Mark? Yeah, Mark, so if that helps, contributions, yeah. So as I mentioned, like you can definitely check like Mapillary web app to see Mapillary contributions visually on the map. Also, if you go to like leaderboard, search your city or your country, see the top contributors. Jen is asking, do you need an account to download images and data? Yes, you do need an account to download map data. And if you want to access map data over API, you also need to generate a client token. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all. If you have further question, I have like a few more minutes. We can chat and talk. Otherwise, we can wrap up here. Yeah, I just see Chris is also here. So if you have a question also to Chris, how does he manage to capture 3.5 million images? So Chris, you want to say something about your contribution?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I just think that capturing with multiple devices is great if you get a chance. Capturing the same road multiple times is no problem. If you use your phone and you go one way down a street today and tomorrow you go the opposite direction, like that's totally fine. Some people ask if they should not capture something if it already has imagery, but the answer is no. Like more imagery in the same road is always great, and that's how you get your numbers very high too. So no problem if you keep covering your town over and over again. Fresh data is the best data. So yeah, hopefully you get there and make sure to check the leaderboard for where you live so you can search by country, I think by city too, right, Said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can all see each other's username on the Mapillary website and in the mobile app, and you can see who's number one like this week and all time. So it's a nice way to keep a competition and see who can capture the most images in your town.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, Jen had another great question. How do you manage privacy issues and vandalism? So let's see issues. And then, as I mentioned, like during presentation, we blur faces and license plates to comply with privacy regulation for different countries and different regulation. And so this is how we address like privacy issues. And also like blurring face is also really important. Like we don't keep like original copies of those images. We are removing as soon as we process data. When it comes to like vandalism, since like most of the crowdsourcing platforms are having this issue, so we have quality checks on the platform, but it's pretty much like trusting our community. And if you tell me like, do you have any like vandalism issues? Yes, we do, but it's mostly like reported by our user, and then we are addressing it quickly. And when it comes to like your example, pictures inside private buildings, so we are explicitly saying that like if a place is private and then if it requires like private access, we don't want to have those images on our platform, and we warn our users, especially like for certain areas like military areas and then some private areas. So we have geofences. As soon as we receive those images, we are not accepting it at all. Also, we have really easy way to report images. So if you have seen like any places which you think like shouldn't be on the map for security reason, etc., you can basically report it, and then we will address quickly. Furthermore, like even if you don't want to see your buildings available, like a picture of your building available on Mapillary platform, you can also request blurring for your building entrances, etc. Was this answer to your question, Jen? And yeah, if you want to follow up, I can share like more details, or we can do like separate chat. Happy to chat more. All right, I think we can wrap up here, if this is okay for everyone.
Oh yes. Again, thank you so much, Seth and Chris and your entire team for accepting to train the interns this year as well. Like you mentioned, I'll be looking forward to the training material that you use, that I can share it with all of us. And yeah, thank you everyone for those questions. They were really insightful. I was actually learning a lot through the answering of the questions. Yeah, have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, awesome. It was a pleasure. So Chris is having a rapid training tomorrow. So you will see Chris tomorrow as well. I will try to also join.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank
See you
you.
tomorrow. Thanks all.
Thanks everyone. See you.